Now, I know that all the snack cakers and goobers are happy to see me back, but at the end of the day, the stories I have for you today aren't that happy of stories. We talked about the dude in the Atlanta airport in the last story. Now we got to talk about this missing beautiful girl sitting next to me, and I think this one will be one that plays out, but I also, whenever we have these type of cases, I tend to lean towards it's the parents, stepfather, stepmother, something like that. But this young girl, I'll get into her story here in just a minute, but she is missing, and it does not look good if you ask me. I'm JB Gunner, this is Crime Time. Let's get into it, let's do it.
Bring it back.
What's going on, everybody? As you guys know, I'm JB Gunner, and this is Crime Time. Man, it's good to see you guys again, huh? Do want to remind you, if you like what I do here and you find my content valuable, which you're probably like, nah, motherfucker, it ain't valuable. You ain't been here in 2 months. I get it, but I'm here now. If you like what I do here, feel free to hit the links down below, support the channel. Big shout out to the Gun Squad who's still riding with me. Thank you, guys. But let's go ahead and get into this story. By the way, if you guys want to follow me on my live streams, hopefully I can get you over to the Gun Show channel. Links are also down below. But let's jump into this crazy story. Mom's 1,500-mile road trip deepens mystery about missing girl who stopped going to class about a year ago. If you don't know what I'm talking about, here's the initial story. Panic over a missing schoolgirl aged 9 who hasn't been seen in a year. Fears are growing for a 9-year-old California girl who was reported missing after school officials realized that she had been absent for an entire year. Now, I do want to say this, that right off the jump, this doesn't, as someone that moves around a lot, different states, and, I've had children, and they, sometimes you don't tie up loose ends when you move somewhere. So my initial thoughts were, well, maybe she just moved. Maybe that's what she did, and she just didn't tie up knots, the loose ends at the old school and shit like that. But we'll get into it. Her name is Melodee Buzzard, who was homeschooled. That is the kicker right there. She's believed to be at risk, and police in Santa Barbara are now asking the public's help to locate her. Students who are homeschooled in California must still maintain an attendance record with their local school. And by the way, I can confirm, not just because, listen, I've homeschooled kids, did virtual school with kids. I'm telling you right now, that's actually very, very, whether you're talking about homeschool or virtual school, there is an attendance mechanism to make sure the kids aren't just saying, fuck it, and maybe some of the parents doing this shit for them. Usually, a lot of times, there is like a kind of like a Zoom meeting type thing with teachers. But when you homeschool, there's attendance records kept. Everything is kept. Like it's a completely. It's not as wild west as you think. If you've never homeschooled, then you probably don't understand. The closest thing I would say is if you've done virtual school, it's pretty much the same thing. If you've ever been to like a virtual college, like anything like that, it's almost the exact same as when you have a child in virtual school, if that makes sense. All right. Anyways, Buzzard had not done so, keeping an attendance record with the local school since October of 2024. The investigation began on Tuesday after a school administrator reported Melodee's prolonged absence. Detectives have been unable to confirm any recent sightings of Melodee, the Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office said. The last verified contact with her was approximately 1 year ago, and the most recent photograph available was taken 2 years ago. Investigators attempted to contact the girl and her mother, Ashley Buzzard, at their home in Lompoc, about 60 miles north of Santa Barbara. However, neither of them were there at the time. No clear explanation was provided for the girl's whereabouts. So they went to her home. There's the mother, Ashley Buzzard. On Wednesday night, deputies returned to the home and Ashley was there, but her daughter was not, according to ABC News. The sheriff's office confirmed to the Daily Mail that the mother and daughter are the only two known residents at this house. It is unknown if Buzzard's disappearance is considered suspicious or if investigators suspect foul play, but she is listed as a missing at-risk child. So that was the initial story, and we go here. A little girl barely seen since she stopped going to school a year ago, was taken on a 1,500-mile road trip across 4 states by her mom before she was reported missing. Is it building up in your stomach yet? Is it building up? I know it is for me. Police began searching for Melodee Buzzard. We pretty much know that part. Her mother, Ashley, refused to cooperate or even tell investigators anything about her daughter's disappearance. So they have no idea whether she is or if she isn't or is safe. Oh, man. The sheriff's office, police said on Monday that they discovered the unexplained road trip. The sheriff said Melodee was with her mother as recently as October 7th and may have driven all the way to Nebraska. Is that October 7th of this year, I would imagine. They were spotted making several stops in a rented white Chevy Malibu, so it is this month, along the way before Buzzard returned to Santa Barbara and gave the car back. Ashley remains uncooperative and has not provided any details. The primary goal of this investigation is to verify the location and welfare of Melodee, and ensure she is safe. You know what's probably happened here, right? The road trip was probably meant to get rid of her. Or she went on some road trip to meet some dude, and I guarantee you some shit hit the fan. It's going to be something like this. Anyway, police earlier searched the home on Mars Avenue, about 60 miles north. Anyway, so the sheriff confirmed that the mother and daughter were the only 2 residents of the home, which we talked about a second ago. Melodee was recently enrolled at Buena Vista Elementary School. The important update helps narrow a significant gap in the timeline. So she was alive as of October 7th. Melodee's aunt said that she had not seen the 9-year-old in more than 4 years because Ashley wouldn't let her. Oh, my God. Melodee was with her mother as recently. Hold on. I'm seeing other pictures for the first time. Hold on, let me. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying a motherfucking word. I'm not saying shit. Anyways, continuing on. Meza posted online that the situation was extremely confusing with a wild timeline. Elizabeth Meza, which was rare. So, okay, they may be Latino or some shit. Anyway, she said CPS was not saying much due to the active nature of the investigation. Unfortunately, after my brother-in-law passed away, the family was unable to see or have contact with Melodee. That's about 4.5 years. So that's what we're looking at. Let's check the news, see what some of the shit that they're saying. 9-year-old missing for at least a year.
And now to the urgent search for a missing girl in Santa Barbara County. 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard hasn't been seen in at least a year. ABC's Stephanie Ramos has the story.
This morning, authorities in Santa Barbara County, California are searching for a 9-year-old they say hasn't been seen in a year. Melodee Buzzard, who was homeschooled, has not checked in with school officials since October of 2020.
I do want to say this, that sometimes, especially if you're not dealing with an awfully bright parent, I'm not saying we are or we aren't. A lot of times people homeschool their kids because they don't want outside entities knowing what kind of shit goes on in the house. So let's say she had a boyfriend and they were drug dealing or some shit like that. That's typically what people do. You know what I mean? Because in today's schooling, they do little counseling sessions and shit like that. Like the see something, say something. They try to get the kids to tell on the people at home. Well, do they have any guns? Because, of course, in America, liberalism, guns is the worst thing you can have. But they do shit like that. So I'm not surprised about this at all. I think there's going to be some underhanded shit. I think it has a lot to do with the mom, but I think there's going to be a boyfriend somewhere around here. Not the father of the kid, not husband. I think there's going to be some other dude involved in this.
We don't have anybody that can confirm that they have seen this child within the past year. We don't have a photograph for 2 years. So the photograph that we pushed out to the public is a 2-year-old photograph, and that's the most recent one that we can come up with.
Authorities say they went to Melodee's home and found her mother, Ashley, but Melodee wasn't there, and no clear explanation was provided for her whereabouts. Recent cases...
How are you that stupid, too, to go back to the home, knowing this is eventually going to happen, and then you don't even got a cooked-up story for this shit? What, criminals are so goddamn dumb today.
Involving the safety and well-being of homeschooled children have raised concerns about a possible lack of oversight by state officials. In Connecticut, Carla Garcia has been charged with killing her 12-year-old daughter, Jacqueline, whose remains...
What have I told you guys over and over? All you guys usually say, well, maybe it's the stepdad, things like this. I don't think you understand that when an infanticide or when a child is murdered by a parent or even physically beaten by a parent, more times than not, it's the mother that does it instead of the father. That's why I don't understand why the family courts are so pro-mom. Like, do you understand 87% of child custody and child support goes to women? And I'm sitting here like, why? The women, I'm not saying all of you, I'm saying, but statistics show that women are more likely to beat and kill their children. That's a statistical fact.
Were found in a storage bin last week. Authorities say Jacqueline was homeschooled and suffered prolonged physical abuse and malnourishment.
See what I'm saying? They got them homeschooling. That way, they can't go to school and report what the fuck's going on with the parents.
Before she was murdered a year ago.
My stepson is in here.
And earlier this year, authorities found a
32-year-old
man who was allegedly held captive in his home.
Another one, huh?
Investigators say the victim's stepmother withdrew him from public school to
Bruh.
homeschool him before exposing him to years of abuse.
That is an awfully long time for no one to have information about what happened to this young man and why he was out of sight.
The stepmom denies the charges.
Of course.
Regulation.
And we're not even talking about all the child molestations with these young teachers and teachers' aides with the boys.
Homeschooled children vary widely from state to state, with some requiring regular checks.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I'm on the True Crime Channel now, and all you goobers like to say, don't say rape, say SA. Don't say murdered, say unalived. Shut the fuck up, all right? Let's just get back to the story.
And others requiring only minimal oversight. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, New York.
Man, wild shit. Let's see what we got. Some more though. We got some more. Let's see what we got here.
To the latest on efforts underway to find a missing girl from the Central Coast. Sheriff's detectives turning to the public for help in the search for 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard. Here's what we're learning tonight from investigators and others in the community.
Here in Vandenberg Village, concern is growing over the disappearance of a 9-year-old.
Man, some of these reports. This is the second story in a row. Man, these reporter broads.
9-year-old girl. Neighbors tell me this house behind me is where the mother lives, along Mars Avenue. Authorities also tell me that the mother hasn't provided information on where her daughter may be. I'm your community reporter, Crystal Bermudez, and I spoke with family members and residents in the community who all tell me they're just hoping for the girl's safe return.
As a mother, my mom heart absolutely cannot take this. I felt really
She looks like a Janet Holmes. I know you guys probably can't see her name because I'm probably covering it with my fat ass. She looks like, her name is Janet Holmes. She looks like a Janet Holmes.
inclined to step in.
While in the neighborhood late Thursday morning, I ran into Janet Holmes. She tells me she came to the home hoping to speak with Melodee Buzzard's mother, but no one answered the door.
My hope was to make contact with the mother, maybe to be helpful.
A woman appearing to be Melodee's mother, Ashley Buzzard, returned home in the afternoon, but did not speak with us before.
Oh, yeah, I could tell by the pants. Yeah, she's out here doing some wild ass shit. Are those black pleather pants and shit? Oh, yeah, she's out here. Oh, yeah.
We're going inside and shutting the door. When I knocked, there was no answer. After bringing some bags out to her car and leaving a little later, she returned home again a short time later, still refusing to speak with me. Her car, though, had a large yellow scratch and
oh, shit.
dent on one of the doors that wasn't there when she first left. Next door, Casey Monreal says her mother thought she saw Melodee fairly recently, but home security footage told a different story.
She thought that when she first said, "Oh, I think I saw her just recently."
But after reviewing the footage, she says that wasn't the case. Casey says CPS and authorities have been at the girl's home for the past few days, with investigators collecting surveillance footage from neighbors in the area. The sheriff's office confirms the last verified contact with Melodee so far was about a year ago.
Our investigation into this at-risk missing juvenile, Melodee, began on Tuesday, October 14th, when deputies were notified by a school administrator that they hadn't seen or heard from a student in approximately a year.
A notice sent out by the Lompoc Unified School District Thursday confirmed Melodee was most recently enrolled at Buena Vista Elementary School. The district says staff became concerned after Melodee had not been seen at school recently.
She last attended a homeschooling program approximately 1 year ago.
The girl's relatives say they've been cut off from her for years. Lisbeth Mesa is Melodee's aunt.
I guarantee you the mom's on some sort of drugs or hoeing or some shit. There's going to be some shit.
Side. Mesa says the girl's dad died in a crash when...
Oh, on the father's side. So the father was a Mesa. So I was right when I looked at the camera. You know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying.
Melodee was just about 6 months old.
I know where I'm going.
Mesa says she found out about her niece's disappearance through Facebook.
We haven't seen her in over 4 years due to the mother not allowing the family to see her.
She describes Melodee as being sweet and kind.
She has a beautiful smile. She's very friendly, very loving, very welcoming. She loved to be around her family.
The sheriff's office says it's following every lead and needs help from the public, urging anyone with any tip, no matter how small, to come forward.
You just hope that it's not as bad as you think it might be, you know.
Well, it's clear what it is.
Any information you feel could help this investigation.
It is very clear what this is. So let's go back to this, broad. Sheriff deputies making repeated visits to the missing Vandergirl Village's home. I don't know, this is not the same one, but it is the same woman, I think. So she's following up on this shit.
I'm Christopher Benez, your community reporter in Vandenberg Village. It's now been 1 week since 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard was discovered missing. Authorities not giving up on making contact with the mother. CPS and sheriff's deputies.
Look at that, the sign right there. Where's Melodee? It's probably one of you true crimers out there doing it. We won't stop looking for her. Show us where she is.
Coming to the house repeatedly to make that contact. The FBI now assisting. And what one private investigator tells me what that could mean next. I was there this week as CPS and sheriff's deputies were outside the Mars Avenue home of Melodee's mother, Ashley Buzzard. She did not answer the door. CPS eventually slid paperwork underneath it before leaving. I spoke with private investigator Bill Garcia.
What is it typically?
Yeah, the mother's hiding something clearly. As I started this, y'all heard the direction I went. The mother is clearly hiding something.
Signal when CPS does arrive to the parent or guardian's home during a missing persons investigation?
I've not seen that too often, to be honest. I've only seen that occur maybe 2 or 3 times in 34 years. So that's not that common.
Sometimes we receive reports from law enforcement, and they would ask us to accompany them. There's a number of reasons why child welfare may report to a home to assess safety of children, and a number of reasons why law enforcement may also be present. Again, there's typically collaboration on...
Especially if the mother's not out looking for her, there's some other shit going on.
...cases when necessary, but I can't say any specific reason.
The search for Melodee, now extending to Nebraska, was sparked on October 14th when school administrators reported her prolonged absence from an independent studies program. Investigators say while the home has been searched, Ashley has been uncooperative. With the FBI now assisting, Garcia says that allows authorities to gain faster access to cell phone data, vehicle tracking, and interstate records.
They have a much quicker...
The FBI is involved now. They'll find her body.
Law enforcement who doesn't deal with that quite as quickly.
or as often.
On Tuesday, a neighbor showed me surveillance footage of Ashley taking out garbage that morning, confirming she was there. They did not want the video shared publicly. Garcia says any kind of video from neighbors is important to the case.
There's a good possibility that they would have seen both Ashley and the child leave and come back if they came back together. And law enforcement has that video.
One neighbor tells me she saw Melodee and her mother at a nearby park just 3 months ago.
Her little daughter, Melodee, was begging her to play. You know, rocking her mom, like, Mom, let's play. And then the mom, Ashley, was like distressed, like, no, right now, not right now, like just.
She's probably on her phone.
Just, you know, rubbing her head.
I tried contacting Ashley last week after seeing her outside her home, but she did not respond. Authorities are continuing to treat this as an urgent case. If you have any information that could help.
So clearly this is all we got right now, that I believe. Probably some of the content creators like JLR probably may have more, I don't know. But this is all I'm able to publicly scrape up. My position on this is the mother definitely has something to do with this. The only question is when she left with so clearly the child was probably alive, right? Because they saw like gas station footage, shit like that, when they left on the road trip. I don't think Melodee returned from the road trip. So either the question needs to be asked, where did she go visit? Because whoever she went and visited may have took part in this, or maybe that was the road trip purpose from the start. Was to take her out to the Kansas cornfields or whatever, and you know. Sad story, beautiful little girl, unfortunately. I don't think she's gonna be found alive. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Well, do you think this little girl is alive? And do you think the mother did? I personally think the mother probably maybe beat her on the road trip and killed her, crushed her skull, took her out and did. I have no clue. Maybe drugs were involved. I have no clue. I'm curious what you guys think, but I definitely think the little girl has passed on, and that's very, very sad. Let me know what you guys think. I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time. If you like what I do here and you find my content valuable, feel free to hit the links down below. Drop some support. Join the Gun Squad. I'll see you guys in the next video. You got 2 more today. You already got, this is your second one today. You got 2 more. Yeah, that's 4 for the goobers. 4. All right.